What's up guys and girls, welcome back to the video. Now this one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit rambly and it's going to be a little bit of a long one because I want to give you a proper update, a sort of behind the scenes update, not just what you see in the videos that I edit and cut. So in this video I'm going to look at a few things. It's going to be broken down into 3 sections. It's going to be challenges I'm facing at the minute. Because as you all know, if you've been watching the videos, that I've just moved and there's been lots and lots of change, which is both amazing, crazy, and brings its own challenges at the same time. And I don't just want to give you guys and girls the edited version that a lot of people do. I want to show you what it's like, what's real, what's under the skin, and what's actually happening. Then I will go into a Q&A because you find people have left, I think it's 21 questions for me to answer, so that will be in depth, nice and honest and open as per usual. Then I'll also look at where I want the channel to go and my plans for the future. As I said, this isn't really my normal content, it's more of a deep dive into what's going on with me and my life. If you are looking for something more educational or a review or something like that, I do have plenty of videos like that, so do feel free to check one of those out. But if you are interested in what I have to say, then stick around, it's going to be a bit of a journey. So let's dive straight into challenges. Now, the reason I want to do this is because I've seen a lot of people speak up about challenges, things they're facing, because it's easy to portray things in a certain way, especially online, social media, and especially in these videos. Now, 9 times out of 10, you'll see me ride, I'm happy as Larry, that is my personality, but there is a lot going on that happens behind the scenes that maybe you guys and girls don't know. So I think it's fair to share so you can sort of see the bigger picture and the real picture. Now, the first thing on the list is time. Now, I don't mean just, I'm always clock watching and I'm always worried about time. I mean that I feel like I can do more than I can for the amount of hours in the day. I have my day job, I have the YouTube channel, I have a new house. All of these things combined together, you need time to tackle them all. And what I've learned over the years is if you don't sort of focus on specific areas, something will give somewhere along the line. It's better that you choose what that is than it just creep up on you and suddenly you realize that this is falling behind or that's falling behind. So with time, that's sort of how I'm feeling at the minute, especially with the house, because I'm finding it so enjoyable working on the house, upgrading the house if you like, painting the house, doing whatever it is, spending time with Lou, whatever we're doing in the house at the minute, that kind of takes priority. It's an exciting time in my life. So that takes up a lot of time, and rightly so. And then you also have, from before that, I had lots of time to record these videos and edit. So suddenly there is a shift, which I'm okay with. It's just accepting that there is that shift and that there is maybe a different outcome because of that, aka I don't maybe produce as many in-depth detailed videos at the minute as I would like. And all of those things are self-pressure with times. Every now and again I take a step back and be like, George, you've got enough time to do all these things, so don't worry about it, it's fine. So that's how I kind of calm it and I reprioritize and work out what I can do in the time that I have. Number 2 challenges maybe is routine. Now, I like routine, some people don't. But I do. I think it gives a bit of stability, and I like having a routine where I'm doing set things sort of each week and I know that routine. That way I can pump out 2 videos a week. I can paint a room in the house every couple of weeks. I can do these things as a routine, and when certain things are routine, it allows you to do other things that are new and explore. So moving house, everything changes, the routine changes completely, and to be honest, I'm loving it and it's going to be beneficial in the long run. But at the minute, I'm still finding that routine. I'm still finding places to go and ride, for example. I still don't have, a local route. Whereas where I was in East London, I could just go out, not even think about it, and have a route on tap or routes on tap. Whereas here, it's different. It's more hilly. I'm trying to work it out. What's best? How can I record? Where to go? All of those sort of things. So routine is another one, and that comes into everything when you move house, and many of you may have experienced that. So that's another thing, or let's call it a challenge. That sounds quite simple, but actually is quite a big thing if you are that person that likes that structure. Number 3, fitness. Now, this ties back into time. Something gives potentially when you don't have enough time, and probably fitness is an easy one to slack on. I know you see me do a lot of ride videos, a lot of content, and yes, I do keep myself fit, and yes, I feel better mentally when I am fit, but equally it's hard to give it as much time as I would like at the start. When I first moved in, like I said, didn't know any routes, didn't have my turbo setup that I do now. So it's taken a bit of time, what are we now? Just over a month, and I'm starting to get back into the swing of it. Starting to do more gym sessions as well, because that's what I feel like doing. I think with fitness, it's good to go with what your body is feeling, what your mind is feeling. You have to want to do it or you will not do it. So yeah, I've mixed it up at the minute. Done a few good turbo sessions, which hurt a lot. I may do a video on that in the future. But fitness is always, let's say, a juggling act or something that you have to reassess, look at, keep yourself motivated, change it up, keep it fresh, keep it engaging, keep it entertaining, and that way you will want to do it. If you do not want to do it, I have learned the hard way, you will not do it. You can say, I will take on this training program, but if you do not want to, you'll get bored of it or you'll plateau and eventually fall off. So I'm aware that the downtime also makes you want it more when you actually get back into it. So that's the sort of stage I'm getting to now, which is feeling good. Challenge number 4 is making good content for the channel. Now, hopefully you guys and girls enjoy the videos that I do make, but it is challenging at times because of things like the setup. Where am I going to record, for example? Because of how long it takes, because of my personality and want to have every last detail of every video and give you guys and girls the best information possible. For example, the Brompton video that I've done, explainer video on the electric Brompton, you can talk at least 4 or 5 hours of research, speaking to the ARC team about the bike. Then you've got all the planning for the video, then the recording, another, 5 hours or so. Then the editing, which is actually probably the longest process, another 3 hours or so. So before you know it, you got a day's work at least, or a day and a half or 2 days work. I can't just pluck that from thin air at the minute. So creating that good content is difficult, but also enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. Don't want to come across as moany and whingy. I like doing it, and I'm in a good enough position to work with certain companies and do these videos. So I do love it, but I do have to find the time. So that's another thing, is making good content. I'm also want to make content that you guys and girls want to actually see. So I'm often doing polls and other things to try and gauge what is doing the best and looking at the analytics. But do let me know. If there are videos you want to see, let me know. If you want to see beginner videos, basic mechanics, let me know. If you want to see long distance challenge rides, let me know. And I will try and give the people what they want, so to speak. Number 5 is self-pressure, and it's easy to do, is to, again, goes back into time kind of. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to do certain things, to create 2 good videos a week, to do 3 or 4 rides a week, to do a gym session a week, to do stuff in the house, prep the house, paint, do whatever with the house every week, go out and do things, socialise, all of normal life stuff every week. So I put a lot of self-pressure, and actually the pressure only comes from myself, and I end up frustrating myself. Why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? But actually I need to just relax at points and just, say, okay, I'll do this week, do that the week after, because I do have the time, I do have the time. I don't know, it's a little bit irrational maybe how I perceive it sometimes, but I know that about myself, and I adjust accordingly. And lastly, there are things that happen in your life every now and again, rarely maybe, that make you realise what is truly valuable to you. And I say this in all my videos, I say it about everything I do. This is all about being healthy and looking after yourself, because your health is a number 1 priority. Now, I won't go into detail about what it is, it's not with me specifically, but when you see something health-wise with people you know and love that happens, it reminds you what you should focus on. It reminds you what's important. It reminds you that maybe the things you're thinking about as problems or stressing about, aren't stressful, because you have what is most important, and that is good health. And I know everyone has things to deal with. I know everyone has different scenarios. I'm not saying that isn't the case. I'm just saying every now and again, something may happen around you and you think, oh, okay, yeah, I'm happy that I've just got good health. That's enough for me. Everything else is a bonus. Anything else, that you have, you can get, the bikes, any gear, anything like that, is a bonus. So that's not really a challenge, more of a reminder, but is challenging in its own way. So next up we have the Q&A. Thank you very much for submitting questions, everyone. I have them all listed. I'm not entirely sure what question was from who, but thank you to anyone that commented. So let's get straight in there and see what we have. So number one, when is the next FTP test? Good question. I don't have any excuse now with the bike all set up on the turbo. Probably pretty soon, and to be honest and speaking openly, I think it's gone down from when I done my last FTP test, but it's good to do, set your baseline and work from there. So maybe in a video coming soon, maybe-ish, I think. Maybe there are any thoughts about creating a bicycle club or group rides, etc. Good one. Well, creating a club, probably no, going back into what I've said about time and doing things like that. Joining a bike club, for sure. No Limits Bike Club, I would probably go and ride with at some point in the near future. I know the benefit from going and riding with cycling clubs. I would always suggest that someone riding or who is new to riding does, because you get so much valuable info, you learn so much, and you progress very quick. That kind of covers the next question, which is, are you a member of any cycling clubs? Currently, no. But I do know people closely who are part of No Limits, and I speak to them regularly. So I kind of feel integrated with that in a way. Would you recommend joining closer to where you live in a new area? Yes, definitely. Having people to ride with in your local area is definitely beneficial. And as I've said before in other videos, it gives a competitive edge when you are cycling with other people, regardless of who they are, your friends or your foes. I was going to say your foes then, you don't ride with your foes. Anyway, your friends or other people in a cycling club. Any competitive riding or races in 2021? Good question. And you know what? Got to think about what I promise here. Maybe. I'm going to say maybe because I want to do some Zwift races. I think one thing I have to consider now is the dangers with cycling, and if I crash, what happens if I can't work, etc. Have some things that I need to worry about now, like a mortgage. I will be, but if I did, I can't imagine it actually being at events. I would like to do Zwift races. It just fits in with the time thing as well and allows me to do it as and when. Yeah, so potentially, peeps, potentially. Does Strava make you a better cyclist? That's a good question. I don't think so, no. I think you make yourself a good cyclist or a better cyclist. You know your levels, you know if you're pushing, you know how to progress, you know if you're actually putting the work in. Strava can tell you the stats, but it can't actually make you better. It can help you understand what your body's doing, which can help you perform better. If you pay, you get a lot of in-depth features. I've got a full video on that. But in terms of becoming a better cyclist, I always say this. You know your body, you know yourself, you will become a better cyclist if you really want to. You're the driving force, no one else. Do you use a bike lock, and if so, which one? That's an interesting question, especially if you're in a big city or a busy area. The answer to that is yes, I do have a bike lock. Do I lock my bikes up? No, I do not lock my road bike up, and I will never lock it up in London. Luckily enough, I do have a bike store at work, so I can take it inside. It's just too risky. If someone wants to nick your bike, they will cut through any of the locks you can get. I have the Kryptonite D-lock, and I also have like the cable lock that goes through the front wheel. But just think about it, peeps. If someone's got some hydraulic cutters, they will cut through something quick, even just to nick your wheels, nick your seat, anything that's of value, they will take. One bike product that you couldn't live without. Do you know what? That's actually hard. I would probably say my GPS, and I don't really use it to its full potential, to be honest. My GPS, because of it allows me to navigate routes. I've got the Garmin 810, which is very old now. Doesn't have Bluetooth or anything, but it's got a great big screen. I've got the maps loaded on an SD card. Clear as day, I can see exactly where I'm going and navigate routes. Water bottles, is that accessory? Couldn't live without water bottles, obviously. Loads of aqua, 1 bottle per hour when you're on a good ride with some good pace. If you could change anything about road cycling, what would it be? That's an interesting one. I'm probably gonna say, here in the UK, I will say the weather. Because I don't like riding in the rain. I rode my motorbike for 5 years in the rain. I've ridden road bikes in the rain. It's just not as fun as riding in the glorious weather. It's just not. I don't know how else to put it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe some people love riding in the rain or the wet, but I don't. So here in the UK, I would change the weather. Some of the roads aren't the best, but yeah, the weather would definitely be the main one. Favourite cycling snack? That is a good one because we all like to absolutely yam some food down when we're out on the road. I like the Trek bars. The Trek bars are good for me. I think it's a salted caramel one. I'll pop it up on screen somewhere here, but that's delicious. That goes down an absolute treat. Do you skip red lights? No, I don't skip red lights. And I see people skipping red lights in London. Come on, it's common. People do it. One thing I don't understand is people skipping at major junctions. I've seen it. I used to commute through Old Street Roundabout for like a year and a half. See people skipping around it. Like, just don't do it, peeps. It's not worth it. I used to time my rides as well. I know what it's like if you go full beans to work and what it's like if you go chilled. 30 seconds to a minute difference doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. So no, I don't skip red lights. Fastest Richmond Park solo loop. So for those who don't know, Richmond Park is a big park in London. I don't actually have a speed round there. I haven't actually done that. I've been round it, but I haven't done a solo lap trying to actually get fast time. I think they've introduced a speed limit now, or it was always there. I'm not sure. So I don't know if you can actually do it now. But yeah, I do like around Richmond Park. Lots of deer. This is antlers that deer have. Dream bike. Interesting. That's a good question because I go through stages with bikes. I go through absolute stages. Sometimes I love X, then the next week I'll love Y. I am really liking the Pinarello FP Quattro. It's an old bike, but it's so stylish. I have a love for the older bikes, like a modern classic. The FP Quattro, the Pinarello, it's just brilliant. I can't remember who it was now commented on a video when I asked what bikes people are riding. And since then, I haven't stopped looking at them. My dream bike would probably now get a frame and build it up from there. The trouble I have with those sort of bikes is I never want to ride them after I've done it. I've done it with a vintage road bike and hardly ever ride it. So Pinarello FP Quattro. If I went for modern bike, you know, like latest and greatest, then I really like the Cannondale Super 6. Really like them. Also like the TCR, Giant TCR. What is the weight of my current bike? I think actually it is around 9.5 kilos or so, roughly. I haven't actually weighed it in a long time. I haven't seen my scales since we moved, so I can't weigh it right now. So yeah, about 9 kilos. I think I've done it before, about 9 kilos, 9.5 kilos. Hardest hill in Surrey. Ooh, I've done the Surrey Hills loop and the hardest one was, what's it called? Leith Hill? I think it's Leith Hill in the Surrey Hills was hard. I've also done some big ones in Kent that were harder than that. I think it's York Hill and something else. I got footage of that. I might pop it on screen if I can find it, but that was really hard. That ride just ruined me. What type of rider do I see myself as? Interesting. I don't know. What category? What can I work with? What categories do we have? A leisure rider? It's dropped a little bit this year. Last year I done 6,000 miles. I was on it, focused on training, getting fitter, faster, lighter, all of those good things. This year it's been more of a steady burn. The way I see cycling is, I need sport I need to keep myself healthy, and cycling is probably the best way for me to do that. I can go whenever, I can train indoors. So it helps me physically, and when I'm good physically, I feel so much better mentally. The two are aligned for me. I've done various videos about how they're interlinked, the upward spiral you can be on as you're getting fitter. So for me, I will say a leisure cyclist. I cycle for enjoyment, for the release, so I'm not looking at the screen as I'm looking at a screen as I'm recording myself. But yeah, to get away from the screens, to get away from those things. Does that answer the question? I'm not sure. Hopefully it answers the question. When will we see Robin again? Good question. Robin is someone I used to ride with here in London, and he moved back to France, the south of France. Good point. It'd be good to do a trip down to the south of France, wouldn't it? He lives down by the mountains now, so that would be some good footage. So maybe that will happen at some point. When that is, I don't know. I know he also comes back every now and again. So Robin, if you're watching, next time you're back, you can use one of my bikes and we'll ride around Kent, because the people have spoken, they want to see you. Did you achieve your goals in 2021? Now, if that is specific to cycling, then potentially not. I think I've lost a bit of fitness. I'm maybe not as strong as I was. In terms of the rest of life goals, massively move forward. Like having the house, moving house, getting it all sorted, where me and my partner are at, Lou, brilliant. Like everything's good. I'm feeling good. So in terms of achieving my goals, yes, I've achieved my goals. In terms of cycling goals, maybe they have dropped a little bit. But we'll see. Start to pick them up over winter if we can. I also do want to do a mixture of more sort of gym and fitness training in line with cycling. So let me know if you want to see videos like that, because I can mix it up, peeps. I can mix it up. Will you try out any other cycling apart from gravel or road? Good question. Mountain bikes do appeal to me. I've been watching Francis Cade's videos now for a long time, and there's only so much you can watch of someone steaming it around the forest, enjoying life, before you think, you know what, I want to actually do that myself. So potentially I would. I don't know enough like about it at the minute. I feel like I need to like put some mental focus into it, but right now I don't have that sort of energy to do that, and I'm happy with the road and the gravel, and I've got new areas to explore in my new location. So in the future, yes, I would. Right now, no. Pros of moving out, as I don't live with Jourdain anymore. This one made me giggle when I read it. There are loads of pros to moving out. Honestly, it just feels great. One, you can start with owning your own house. You can start with not paying rent anymore. It's all going into your pot. Yes, you are borrowing a lot of money, but it just feels good to have your own space. Lou and I have our own space. We can do whatever we want to the house. It's just a different feeling. It's been great, to be honest. It's been great. I know I speak about it every now and again about the move, but I just love it. I love it. I love this space. I love our home. It's becoming a very nice, sort of enjoyable, relaxing space to be in. It's kind of a life goal, isn't it? You kind of get to that point, and I'm at that age, people. I know. I keep saying, don't look like I am. I do look like I am. But it's a good moment in time for me, and I very much appreciate everything that I have. When am I getting a new bike? Peeps, I will get the FP Quattro if I could right now, because honestly I look at it every day. The answer to that is when I have enough money, and the answer to that is before I bought a lot of stuff for the house. And that's not just because, you know, I feel like I have to buy stuff for the house. Like at the minute I would rather do that when I've already got a bike that I can use, or bikes plural that I can use, and really love and enjoy. So it's a bit excessive to buy another bike when I can get stuff for the house and really make it a home. My favourite gadget or purchase for the bike kind of ties into the one before. GPS was very good. Heart rate monitor is a massive win. It's a great way to actually track yourself without having a power meter. Much cheaper. So yeah, that heart rate monitor is good. You can train to heart rate, and you can train in your heart rate zones. So it really is a good purchase if you want to take cycling a little bit more serious. So they are 21 questions answered. Interesting. Makes me think a little more introspectively about what I want to do, cycling goals. So thank you very much for asking those questions, peeps, and making me think about that and what I actually want to do. The final thing I wanted to talk about was where I want to take the channel and the plans for the future. To be honest, I have a mixture of what I would like to do. Now, I normally stick to 3 categories when creating videos: rides, reviews, and also how-to. God, my brain just had a little mind fart. How-tos. So those 3 categories seem to work well and give a good mix for everyone. You see me ride, I can then review gear when I'm riding, and how-tos can be things like, you know, 6 ways to improve your average speed. I do want to do more light-hearted fun videos. There's lots of stuff I look at online, lots of stuff about like mechanicals, things like that, lots of stuff that I researched that I could bring to you, funny videos, that sort of content, more sort of sit down and looking at the computer and educate and laugh at the same time, because that's pretty much what I do when I'm researching. So I may bring some videos like that. Obviously I want the channel to grow, and I very much appreciate the growth and appreciate the steady growth, because it's one thing going like that and peaking and coming back down. It's another thing seeing the line go like that and the growth curve is going up. So the more the channel grows, the easier it is to produce better videos. One, because it will start to make more money. And for full transparency, now at the minute it makes around £100 a month. And I can also attract bigger companies to work with. And one of the big things I had on my list as a goal was to get a bike sent out. And that was achieved in a year and a half. I received the bike in the post. Albeit I took it back, but I still received it. It was a bit of a milestone. But yeah, a mixture of videos and content is what I want to go for in the future. I want the channel to grow. The more the channel grows, the more I can give back. You see me doing giveaways and competitions and things like that. And that's what I want to try and do. When I work with companies, I always ask them, are you willing to do a giveaway, so that, you know, I can actually give something to you rather than me just receiving a product. A bit of an insight into everything. I hope that kind of helps build the foundation and the story around all these videos and this content and me, to be honest. It is an enjoyable process, don't get me wrong. Lots of learnings along the way, lots of nice people I've met, and long may it continue. Thank you very much for watching, peeps. You know, I always enjoy creating these videos, and I enjoy it more when people enjoy them. So thank you again for watching, especially if you made it this far in this video, because it's been a long one. It's been a rambling one. Normally I cut it really quick and edit, but you know what? Change it up every now and again. So as always, fine people, until the next one, self-love. I say self-love because it's important. You need to take care of yourself, love yourself to be the best version of yourself, and safe riding because it's dangerous, peeps. Understand the dangers and do keep yourself safe. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye.